everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another one of my handbag dupes videos, and this one is going to be focused on dupes for Fendi handbags. So we're talking about more affordable handbags from contemporary designers that just happen to look a lot like Fendi handbags without being direct copies. And I am going to be covering dupes for very popular Fendi styles like the Peekaboo and their Baguette bag. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video and stay till the end because the last dupe that I'm going to be sharing is really similar. And yeah, let's get into it. So let's start with one of Fendi's most iconic handbags, and it's actually one that I personally own, and it is the Fendi Peekaboo. Now there's been so many iterations of this handbag over the years. There's the iconic, there's the essentially, and the newest version is the I See You line of the Fendi Peekaboo. The one that I currently own is the iconic medium. And yes, it's a great bag, but it's also very pricey. I mean, in a way, it is a very unique design because it has that kind of like slouch feature that gives it the Peekaboo name. I've never really bothered to try to get it to hang down like this, but it definitely is an option. So while there's so many top handle bags on the market, this feature kind of makes the Fendi Peekaboo a little bit more unique, but that doesn't mean that you can't find something that is similar from a contemporary designer. So the first dupe that I want to mention is going to give you the same type of top handle handbag look, but it doesn't really give you that Peekaboo effect. Still, it's a lot cheaper at under $200 right now because it is on sale. And it is the Michael Kors Penelope satchel. So that bag, it comes in a few faux leather colors, and then there's a couple that is in leather. And the thing about that bag that is very similar to the Peekaboo is that you still do get those two compartments, you know, one at the front and then you get the one at the back. And then the top handle is attached on the middle part of the bag. So there's this partition in the center, and then there's like a bar in the center that if you look at the versions that are in leather, there is actually this, I believe it's like a faux croc type of embossing on the center, which is very similar to how on my Peekaboo there is this kind of tortoise shell bar at the center. So it does give it a little bit more of a contrast to the rest of the bag. And yeah, if you're looking for a much more affordable top handle style that kind of mimics the Peekaboo look, then that one is a great option. However, if you're looking for a dupe that gives you that type of Peekaboo effect where you can kind of see like the interior lining and the different colors on the inside of the bag, then check out the Tory Burch Lee Radziwill double bag. And now that bag doesn't really have the same type of shape as the Peekaboo, but there is a few different sections in the center that if you undo the straps at the front of the bag, it will flop down a little bit so you can see the contrast of the inside of the bag. And the thing with that bag is that it's a little bit less stiff compared to the Peekaboo, so you do get that type of effect more easily than with this one. This bag, you kind of have to train it to get the leather to slouch enough so it shows the Peekaboo effect. But if you're really looking for that type of contrast, then check out this bag because there are so many different color combinations and there are a few different colors to every single bag. So you really do get like a nice array of colors on any combination that you get. And yeah, this bag is definitely more expensive compared to the Michael Kors one that I mentioned. It starts at $598 US, and the largest size goes up to $1,198. So it is a little bit higher up there in price, but they do have sales on Tory Burch like decently frequently, especially since we're going into the holiday season now. I believe there will be sales coming up. And also, I've seen that bag in person and it is really well made. So I do think that it is worth that kind of like higher price tag. So yeah, I think both of these two bags are great dupes for the Peekaboo. And next I want to talk about the Fendi Way Tote bag, which is essentially an oversized tote bag. So it does come in 3 different sizes, and aside from the small size, both the medium and the large are quite oversized in my opinion. And this bag does have these two top handles that are metal, and it has the FF logo on it. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure how comfortable it would be to carry it by those handles. It does look very chic, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure how comfortable it would be, but luckily you can attach a shoulder strap to carry it on your shoulder. And the funny thing is, the dupe that I found for this bag, I actually knew about way before, pun not intended by the way, I knew about it long before I found out about this Fendi bag. So a few years ago, Stout, I believe that's how you pronounce the name of the company, they had this kind of like PVC bag. It's called the Shirley bag. So this bag was made out of like a PVC plastic, and it also came with like a pouch that you put inside to kind of like hide your stuff in so it doesn't look really messy in there. So they also have this exact bag made in leather, and this bag does look very similar to the Fendi bag in my opinion. It's just that the handle kind of like extends a little higher up than the bag itself, whereas for the Fendi Way bag, it's like completely flat against the rest of the bag. Also, this dupe doesn't come in as big of a size as the Fendi ones. Their bigger size actually, I think, is even slightly smaller than the medium Way Tote from Fendi, but it does give you the same type of look for under $300, whereas the Fendi one is upwards of $3,000 for the larger sizes. Next up is Fendi's Moonlight Bag, which is basically their take on the very classic saddlebag shape. I think that the Fendi one is more feminine than your typical saddlebag is though, especially with the ones that have that tortoiseshell detail. I think that looks really pretty, and it's a nice way to kind of frame the bag. I clearly am a huge fan of those tortoiseshell details, clearly because the Fendi Peekaboo that I have also has those same tortoiseshell details on it. So when I was looking for a dupe of this handbag, I really wanted to find something that, you know, wasn't just your everyday saddlebag. It had to have a feature of it that made it a little bit more feminine looking. So the one that I found was from C by Chloe, and it is their Mara evening bag. So the name is evening bag, but I don't think that you're limited to wearing it for special occasions. It does have this chain strap compared to the leather one on the Fendi bag. So you might think that, yeah, that is a little bit more dressy, but because it is still that saddlebag shape, I think you can definitely still dress it down. And the C by Chloe bag has this gold metal detail across the bottom of the bag that kind of frames it and draws your attention to that area, which is similar to, but not exactly the same as, the effect that you get from the tortoiseshell detail on the Moonlight bag. And as for the price, this bag costs $395 compared to the over $2,000 that the Moonlight bag will cost you. And I think that is a great price because, as I've mentioned in my Chloe version of these dupe videos, C by Chloe is basically like a more affordable version of the Chloe brand. So you definitely are getting that designer look for less with C by Chloe. Now on to yet another very popular Fendi bag, which is the Baguette. And this bag is now available in so many different materials. You can get it in leather, in canvas, you can get it in shearling, there's straw, crochet, there's embroidered one, embellished ones. The list really goes on and on. And ever since Fendi re-released this bag, it's been so popular. So I would say that it's definitely like a new classic. There's so many brands that do dupes of these bags, but the one that I really wanted to mention is from Coach, and it is their tabby bag. So similar to the Fendi Baguette, this Coach bag comes in many different types of combinations. They have their kind of like signature one, they have one that is slightly slouchier, and then they have the pillow tabby, which also jumps on that kind of pillow trend too. And this Coach tabby bag is actually one of the first ones that I recall coming out soon after the Baguette bag. So it is definitely tried and tested. Obviously, many people do love that bag, so it's stuck around for this long. And Coach is great quality. I've owned bags from them in recent years, and I think that you definitely get more than you pay for it. So yeah, I think this is a great dupe for the baguette if you're not willing to pay Fendi prices. Now, one of you guys had asked me to share a dupe for the Fendi Nano Baguette Bag Charm, and Coach actually does make this cute little nano-sized version of their tabby bag, so that is a great option if you don't want to pay like $1,000 for a little bag charm from Fendi. The only thing is the Coach dupe doesn't come with that little chain that you can kind of like wear the bag charm instead of just hanging on your bag, but you can always just attach your own little metal chain to it and that will serve the same type of purpose. So to kind of elaborate on this bag charm theme, Fendi does make so many bag charm versions of their bags. So for example, there's one for the Peekaboo, there's one for the Baguette, there's one for their newest Fendi First bag, which is also so pretty, but it's so new that I couldn't really find any dupes for it. So Coach similarly does make these bag charms for their bags. The one that I think is really, really cute is the bag charm of their Rogue bag. I had shared that the Rogue bag from Coach is a great dupe for the Lady Dior, and this bag charm is just so adorable. The last bag I want to talk about is the Fendi Calligraphy shoulder bag. Now this bag is in a very kind of basic type of shape. It is a very classic shape though, and so many designers have done kind of like their version of the shape of handbags. So for example, Celine has their classic box bag, Hermes has their Constance bag, and what sets the Fendi version apart from the others is that it does have some Fendi branding on it. So on the opening of the bag, there is this FF logo on it, but instead of putting, for example, the FF logo that's on the Baguette bag, for example, this logo is in this script-like font. But what if I told you that you can get almost the exact same bag with Karl Lagerfeld's initials on it instead, and for a much lower price? So there is this bag from Karl Lagerfeld's brand, which is called the Autograph Crossbody bag, and it's basically identical to the Calligraphy shoulder bag from Fendi. And yeah, it's down to the sizing of the bag, the dimensions of it are almost entirely the same, and even the interior compartments are exactly the same also. The only difference is instead of having two F's on their logo, there's a K and an L on it. So yeah, this bag only costs $415, and I honestly think that it's basically the same bag, and it really made me laugh when I first saw this bag and I knew I had to mention it as a dupe. So that is it for this Fendi handbag dupes video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please do give this video a thumbs up. And I do have a lot of similar videos to this one, but it's focused on dupes for handbags from brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior, YSL, and I do have a few other ones too. So I'll link the entire playlist up here as well as in the description box below. But do also let me know in the comments down below if there's any other designer brands that you would like me to do a similar type of video on. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing for new videos every single week on luxury fashion and handbags, of course. And I'll leave 2 videos on the screen for you to watch next, so I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.